welcome back to the Scale Modelling Cafe, and welcome to the next part of the Trumpeter Fulmar video. This episode will deal with the construction of the airframe mainly, and it all started putting the fuselage halves together, and I'm doing my normal technique of using the black super glue. There's a few reasons that I use this method. Firstly, it's very quick, and secondly, there is zero chance of shrinkage. With your typical cement, it works by melting the plastic and welding it together, and it can take a long time for it to fully gas off and stop shrinking. In fact, I know some some airline modelers who will glue a fuselage halves together and will leave it for 12 months before sanding it down. Well, I'm not going to wait 12 months. So I use this, and it works an absolute treat. You do have a bit of working time with this. It's got some kind of rubberizing stuff in it, which means that it dries a little bit slower than normal. You can obviously see what you're doing because it's black. And it's less brittle than normal super glue, although I have cracked some seams before in the past. All my fault, just putting a bit too much pressure. Going in with the ammo sanding sticks, wet this time, just to try and reduce the amount of dust, because it can get everywhere, and with all these cockpit openings, I just wanted to minimise the risk. So I used it wet, and various different grades. So we'll just go in and just get rid of all the high spots, and using finer and finer grits just to polish out the scratches. Now, belt and braces here, I have covered all the seams in the ammo surfacer. This is the medium one, and I'll rub that down in a bit, but not until after I've glued the seat in. So the floor for the observer cockpit that went in now, and now I can just go in and, using this sanding sponge from ammo, it comes in a big sheet, just cut it off, and again, using it wet, I'm just going to polish away the excess, and you can see there it kind of stains the plastic and it blends in really well. Bit of a departure from me doing the panel lines. Normally I'd use the RB saw, but I thought I'd give this a go because it kind of matched the width of the kit panel lines very nicely. So this is from ASK or Ask. And just note that I'm just drawing it downwards and I'm not pushing. And this way I'm able to be more accurate with where it's going. Just using the existing panel line as a guide, and I'm able to match the actual panel line. I'm going all the way around there just to try and make it even, and I am pushing there just at the very end over the existing panel line. So I've rubbed it down, and I'm just using the Trumpeter panel line just to remove the dust, if anything else, and then we'll use a little bit of cement just to smooth things over. Okay, so this was a big job. I wanted the canopy open. I've done all that detailing work, and the canopy just will not fit in the open position. And you can see how thick it is there. So just note the time, and rather than just having just showing it all in real time, I thought I'd just show my watch. So, you know, it's about 8 minutes to do one side. You can see how thin it is now compared to the other one. Still a little way to go though. But the fact that it's flat means it's a fairly straightforward job, although not for the faint of heart. But you can see there it's still not fitting. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the other side. So here we are. So this is about, what, just under 20 minutes to sand down the canopy. Now I've got to be quite careful now because it's obviously thinner, it's more susceptible to damage, but you can see there it's improving. But now we need to take some plastic from the actual sides of the fuselage. And no bad thing here, because the fuselage is moulded on too much of a square profile, so it gave me the opportunity to just round off those corners as well, make it a little bit more accurate. And there we go, we're pretty much there. Just need to polish that canopy back up now, which doesn't take that long. Okay, onto the wings. So you get this kind of plug if you want to do your wings spread, which obviously, because I'm normal, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Just using the blue cement there, just so I can see what I'm doing. And this provides a really nice, positive location for when doing, when gluing it into the actual wing. But what I suggest is just that inside bit that's sort of parallel with the fuselage is I would sand and polish that, because you can actually see that on the inside of the wheel well. So I had to add a bit of an awkward cleanup job with a curved blade doing that afterwards. These are the flaps, which give an indication of how thick the actual wing section is. It's probably why this aeroplane wasn't particularly fast. On the trailing edge, decided to use the black super glue again. In fact, this is the first time I've used the super glue trick on the wings, and actually it worked a treat, so I'm going to definitely do that again. Normally I use plastic cement. Notice my fingers though, there's little black spots everywhere. This black super glue does tend to yeah, get where you don't want it, so just be careful of fingerprints. But you know, if you've got some debonder, that's fine, you can just go and remove the excess. And then we'll just hit that with a bit of accelerator and then sand it down. But I did actually use the sort of normal cement everywhere else, and I do like using this blue stuff for where it won't be seen, because obviously it stains the plastic, but you know, it's really useful to see where the glue's gone, especially on these seams. Make sure you don't miss anything. And then we'll just dry fit that into the wing, and you can see it gives a really nice fit. Bit of a theme with this build actually is the fit. It's pretty good. And then we'll just dry fit that to the wing. Now, one thing I didn't film, you might be able to just see the guns on the leading edge. They're moulded in the wrong place, so they were filled in and then re-drilled out. It's quite a simple job. Ailerons are just a push fit. Flaps are not a push fit, but they do fit really well. So I'll just tap them into place with a bit of the ammo extra thin. Before I joined the wings to the fuselage, I just noticed in some of the reference photos there were these two little sort of things sticking out. So I got the old wow stick out and drilled a couple of holes. This wow stick pen drill is really good actually. It's one of my new toys. So the first one is, I don't know if it's some kind of drain or what have you, so I just got a bit of very fine brass tubing, cut that down to size, and then just glued that into place. So that looks quite neat. And then the other one was this kind of solid thing, no idea what it is, so I just glued in a bit of plastic rod cut it to size, and then I just sanded it, not flush, but square. I'm wondering if that's some kind of handle thing that opens the observer's canopy from the outside. I don't know. Just being very careful not to scratch the glass. That's not actually glued in at this point. I'm just using it to keep the dust out. There we go. A little simple addition which elevates the detail. Tailplanes, they are two-piece. The elevators, again, are just a push fit, which is great. So I ended up manipulating them. See how much force is required. You have to sort of jam them in, which is quite good. And you can see how awesome that fit is. Really nice and positive. I did use a little bit of surfacer, just belt and braces. Didn't need it, but I don't know. I kind of tend to. And now the wings to the fuselage. So you can just see there, actually on the fuselage, a couple of the panels have been added from foil, and I've painted up the clear parts. But fitting the wing to the fuselage, it's quite a nice join. But I do wish that manufacturers would just give us one-piece wings, please. Alright, and then give us cut lines on the inside, or just make the panel line on the wing fold just that little bit deeper than all the others. And then if we want to cut them open, for those masochists and weirdos, I am saying that with my tongue firmly planted in my starboard cheek, by the way, before you rush to the comment section. But it's true, people who fold up their wings are weirdos. I'm joking. Anyway, the fit of the outer wing panels is nice and positive. Just a bit of pressure just to hold it in place. This is about one of the only pieces of filler was just the fair in the windscreen. This is the Deluxe Perfect Plastic Putty. It's water based, and when dry you can just go in and rub it away. Proper job. Now, even though the fit was really quite nice, there were just a few gaps, so I just went in with ammo surfacer, and it's just to seal it in. It's not sort of filling as such, it's sealing it. And then when that's dry, I'll just go in with a little bit of Mr. Hobby thinner on a cotton bud, nearly said cocktail stick, on a cotton bud, and I'll just get rid of the excess. More photo etch. This is the undercarriage doors. There's a lot of photo etch included in the Edward set. It's really comprehensive, so if you like that sort of thing, which obviously I do, I can highly recommend it. Now this part was designed for having the wings folded on the exposed bit, but I found that the bit inside here that I mentioned earlier was a bit bland, so I just cut it so it would fit, and it's a simple job just to stick it in, and then the offcut I'll use on the adjacent portion just in here, and it fits really well actually. Really pleased with that. You just note that the landing light there's been sanded flush because for some reason it did bulge out, but that's all been sanded and polished in. And there we are. That really is the airframe complete. So quite a quick process really. On the underside, what I didn't mention is wing to fuselage join was filled and sanded and rescribed. Okay, coming up in the final part is the fun bit. It's the painting. So you can see here I've lightened the fixed portions of the wing. I spray all the markings, apart from the cereals, which were just too small. They were decals, but all the markings are sprayed. And I do a proper weathering job on the prop. And lots of different ways of using oil paints on this one. So I'll go into detail on that. And here is the scratch built mechanism for the doors. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part. So cheers, bye bye.